I'm sure you ask yourself once in a while, is my future determined by fate or can I create my future? But today we are going to understand if fate really determine our future or if we can build our future. Okay? So we're gonna find answer to this question. But for us to understand that, we must understand first how do we take action? How do you and I take action? We, in order for us to have a physical result in our life, okay? So in order for us to have physical results, we need a physical action because the accumulation of our action is what gives us our present life. Okay? What do I mean by that? The thing that you've done in the past, the action, the decision that you've made in the past, your present life is a result of them. So, any situation that you find yourself in the present, in your financial life, in your health area, any result that you find yourself in the present life that you're currently living right now, in your current situation, these are result of decision of action that you've made in the past. Now, in order for us to understand if our life, if our future is really determined by fate, or can we technically build our future based on the action that we are going to take, we must understand how do we take action. So, how do we take action? For us to take a feasible action, we must feel the desire to do so. Okay? So there must be an emotion driving us to take action or to be stuck in inaction. Okay? So the fact of us taking action or inaction is determined by how we feel. Okay? Now, how we feel determines on what we've been thinking, on our thoughts, on our mindset. Okay? Our mindset, which is the way that we see things, the way that we understand things, the way that we perceive things. Now, based on the way that you perceive things, you'll feel a certain way. Now, the way that you feel will determine if you'll take action or inaction. Okay? So this action will give you the result that you have in your life. Now, you might be asking, why do I process certain thoughts a certain way? Why do I have this mindset? Why do I see things a certain way? And why do people see things different than me? All these are based, the way that you process thoughts, they are based on the belief that you have. Okay? Now, depending on how on what you believe to be true, what you believe to be true about yourself and what you believe to be true about the world, you'll think a certain way. Okay? And since you think a certain way, you feel a certain way that will drive you to take action or inaction. Now you might even go further and ask, what do I believe the thing that I do believe right now? And I can't stop believing them because they are part of who I am. Okay? And this is due because some of the belief that we have, we call them the core belief, they are attached to our identity. What is our identity? Our identity can be defined as a self concept, self perception. Okay? So this is how it works. Depends on how you see yourself, how you perceive yourself, on what you believe about yourself. You have certain belief about the world and the way things work. Now, based on the belief that you have, you process reality a certain way. Because remember, we don't experience reality as it is, as pure reality. We experience reality as we think it is. Okay? So based on what we believe, will process certain kind of thoughts. Okay, so we'll experience reality a certain way. Now, based on how we perceive reality, we'll feel a certain way and then we'll act or we'll go into inaction. This is how the process leads from your identity to the action that you take. Now, I show you all that just to help you understand that in order for you to understand if your future can be determined by fate, or if your future can be built by your action, there are a couple of things that we must understand, but that was the base. Now, let us go further so you can understand all what I'm putting down here so you can understand and apply this to your life. So here, what I want you to understand is a concept that I've been able to learn from Myron Golden. He's a very great guy. He said that in life we have two factors. We have contributing factors and we have determining factors. Okay? So we have contributing factors and determining factors. Now, based on my experience and what I learned, I understand that our life, our result, is determined by our determining factors. What do I mean by that? The contributing factors, they in any way can get you the life that you want or prevent you to get the life that you want. Okay? So they are just here for you to react to them. Now, depends on how you react to a certain situation in life that you're experiencing. The way that you react, the action that you take, the behavior, the way you behave is what will determine the life, the result that you'll get. Okay? So contributing factors, they are not neither preventing you or helping you to get the result that you're looking for in life. What determines the result that you're looking for in life is the determining factors. And what are the determining factors? The determining factors, they are the way that you react to the contributing factors. Okay? Because I always say in my previous video, I always say that the way that you react to a thing, your action, your behaviors, they always reflect who you are. Okay? We are going to see that later. But here I want you to understand that the determining factors, they are what determines the result that you get in your life. Okay? So contributing factors, they are just here, they are part of pure reality. They are neither at your advantages or disadvantages. They are here for you to reflect who you are. So based on a certain situation, the way that you react to it will determine, for example, if you are a calm person or if you are not a calm person. Based on a contributing factor on pure reality and the way that you'll react to this contributing factor, that will determine if you are a disciplined person or not. Okay? That will determine if you consider yourself as a healthy person or not. It will determine if you believe that you are a person that is confident or not. So contributing factors, they are here for us to reflect who we are. Okay? And the result that you get in your life, they are based on this action that you're taking towards these contributing factors. Okay? Now, the problem is, even though these action, these behavior that we are acting on, the way that we act, even though these are the one that determines the result that we get in our life, most of these action, whenever we are taking them, we are not taking them based on what we know, but we're taking them based on who we are. In other terms, we are taking them from the content we have on our subconscious mind. Okay? So we are not aware of them. Okay? So it is true that the action you take determines the result you get. It is true that the determining factors determine the result you get, not the contributing one. The contributing factors, like the name qualify, they contribute to whatever thing that you're acting on. Okay? They contribute to see who you really are. So let's say that you consider yourself as a confident person. Contributing factors that you experience in the world will reflect if you really are a confident person for wealth. Let's say that you are a calm person. Let's say that you believe that you are a calm person, or you say to yourself that you are a calm person. Now, experiences that you'll experience in the world will determine if you really are a calm person. So contributing factors, they reflect who you are based on the action you take, which are the determining factor, the decision that you took. But like we said, most of these action or behavior, we take them based on the content that we have on our subconscious mind. And most of the content that we have on our subconscious mind, a guy like Carl Jung said that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you'll call it fate. Why? Because the content that we have on a subconscious mind, we're not aware of it. And most of the action we take them based on the content we have there. So we might say to ourselves that we are a calm person. But if the content that we have on a subconscious, by the content we have in the subconscious mind, I'm referring to the belief that we have on ourselves and the world. I am referring to the identity, our identity. So even though you know differently, even though you know how to do a thing, even though you're saying to yourself, this is who I am. But if the content that you have in your subconscious mind, I'm referring to the belief, the identity assumption that you have with yourself, if they are not the same as who you are saying you are, your action will be different. And since your action will be different, your result in life will be different. Okay? So based on that, the reason I develop all these for you is for you to understand that you create your future based on the action that you take towards the contributing factors, towards the experiencing. Okay? Towards the experiences that you are experiencing in your job, in your business, in your family, on the street. The way that you react to these things, the way that you react to your problems, the way that you react to joy, to sadness, the way that you react to things determines who you are. And this action that you take, the way that you behave, they determine what is the result that you can get in your life. That's the reason earlier on this video I said that the present life that you have right now is the result of the action of the decision that you've made in the past. So what we call fate, a guy like Carl Jung defined it as the content that we have on our unconscious mind. So if we don't make this content, the belief, the identity assumption that we have in a subconscious mind, if we don't make them conscious so we can be aware of them, we'll be taking action from them without being aware of them. And we will call it fate. Okay? For those of you who know Carl Jung, know he states that until you make the unconscious conscious, It will direct your life, and you call it fate. Okay? So what I developed for you throughout this video is for you to understand that your daily action, the thing you do on a daily basis, even the thing that you see that feels natural to you, that seems that they are part of who you are, these daily action or inaction, they determines who you are going to be. Even though you say that you're going to be a millionaire, even though you say that you're going to be a healthy person, even though you say that you're going to have a very good business, if the action you take on a daily basis based on the content that you have on your subconscious mind are not aligned with those goals, there's no way for you to achieve that in your future. And when you see that, for example, that you don't have it, you will call it fate. You say, okay, that was my fate. And it was not. These will be your result of the action that you take based on the content that you had on your subconscious mind. That's the reason I invite you to go ahead and take some time to yourself. I always invite you to do that and take some time to yourself to understand why you do the thing you do and understand the belief behind them and understand what do you believe about yourself? What are your identity assumptions? Okay? Understand the belief, the patterns, the identity assumption behind it. And this is a process. Okay? This is not a one-time thing, something you do and then you're done with it. This is a process. And if you would like to even go further about it, there's a link in the description where you'll be able to see in our framework of change mastery how you can understand the patterns, understand the belief behind them, and the identity assumption behind them, and also be able to reprogram yourself so you can take different actions, so you can believe different things and have a different life. But for now, my invitation is for you to go ahead and reflect on this. Reflect on the fact that you determine your future based on the action that you take on a daily basis. And also understand that most of these actions, you take them based on the content you have on your subconscious mind, which primarily are your belief about yourself and the world and the identity assumption that you have about yourself. This is all I have for you for today, and then I'll see you on the next video.